Okay, the first film we did was a road safety film, which we aimed at 17 to 24-year-olds. Although that's the age group, we go into year 11 and we target 15, 16-year-olds in school. Captive audience. Once they've left school, we've lost them, and we don't then get to talk to them. So we go in and catch them before they get a provisional driving licence. So this is the things we had, the problems we had to overcome. This is the first time we've done anything kind of 360 filming, so we're really novices. We brought in the experts, and I wasn't sure, and you'll see why, but it came good in the end. We had to get a film company. We just used someone who we had contacts with. It was First Car. We bought their magazines, had a lot of dealings with them. So it was a nice, easy fit. So they came on board. Script and filming time. Filming time is really important. I wrote the script using my experience of 28 years in the fire service, and we wanted to keep the film fairly short, so we can get a lot more people through the education package. The venue, very, very difficult. I didn't realise how hard it is to close the road off. It takes months and months and months, lots of forms. So we ended up going to a road which had been closed off for building work, and I got permission to use that. Actors and volunteers. If you've seen our film, the only actors are the people in the car. Everyone else is emergency services personnel doing what they do. Vehicles. All the emergency services vehicles are very easy to get there. But what we had to do, we needed a vehicle which was road legal, because we needed to drive it to the venue and then cut it up. So we had to go out and spend £500 on a car, which, to be honest, it was better than my car. I'd rather have swapped. Makeup company, we needed to look real, because there's no point showing a crash scene and injuries in the car. If they don't look real, the age group we targeted pick up on that straight away, and you lose them. It's all about keeping them engaged, and it had to look as real as possible. Coordinating on the day was quite difficult. We had 40 odd people there. It was a very, very long day. As you can see here, there's a car. It was a Nissan. That's kind of getting ready for scene 2. We've already had the drive sequence. They've seen the causation factor, using a mobile phone and speeding, a bit of peer pressure. Ready in the car, making it safe, kind of letting off all the airbags so we don't get any accidents. This is brilliant. This was the technical drawing I was given of the camera rig setup for the car. This is when I did start to feel a little bit of concern about how it was going to work. But when you see the next picture, you see how we actually made it work. That is, when you're in the car, that is you in the car. So that's your body, and the camera is your head. We didn't go out and buy an expensive 360 camera. The company we used, they used 2 GoPros with fisheye lens, and they stitched the film together. And as you can see, there was lots of tape used, and I was getting really concerned. I thought there'd be a proper rig, it would all be fastered in. So yeah, we got all emergency services were there. John, the farmer, was a mate from school, so we got a tractor and trailer. We were lucky, we had the police helicopter turn up. We had them for the day. They kind of went to a couple of calls and came back. The funniest thing on the day was I was stood there and we didn't know the helicopter was coming, and my phone rang, and it was the pilot saying, "Where do you want me to land?" And I'm like looking at my phone, looking at this helicopter, thinking this is a bit surreal. The makeup artists, we got them Trauma FX from North Yorkshire. They came down and they did a really, really good job. The driver, that's possibly the worst injury, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like to look at injuries." I said, what we've done within this film, if you don't like what you're looking at, look somewhere else, because there's something going on out of every single window. And that promotes conversation after the film, because people see things what other people don't, and it promotes a lot of conversation about the film. That was getting ready for the third session. The actress had to lie across that bonnet for several hours. She did make Sarah, the paramedic, she did make her laugh and jump a couple of times as she walked past. Sarah is a paramedic, and when you watch the film, she's not scripted, she's just talking how she would talk at an incident. We did have the air ambulance or the paramedic crew there in his fast response car, but they wouldn't bring their helicopter, unfortunately. Again, getting everything, we made everything look as it would at an incident. We left no stone unturned. We're getting the car ready for the last scene. As you can see, it's getting a little slightly dust now. We thought we were going to run out of light at the end of the day. and you'll see with the last few slides, it was getting very, very dark. The makeup was absolutely fantastic. You know, we've shown people this and they think it looks absolutely real. And she kind of loved it. She's got a picture of that and framed it. But, that's the last thing. You can see we've got all the lights on now. The helicopter said we're going to take off now and we're not coming back because the flying hours. But what they did do is we took the roof off, the helicopter's flown over the car and lit it with its spotlight. So the realism is absolutely fantastic. So for your information, there's the actors and Bill, who was the director. Nobody was suffered any injury making this film. That's a very quick whistle-stop tour where we started. Now the exciting thing is when we launched this, we've got a product. This has gone kind of international, this film. We've sent it to 10 different countries. It was on the news in America last week. You know, we don't charge for it, we give it away. It's an educational film to make people safer drivers. So, you know, my bosses looked at me, what do you mean you're not charging? It cost us nothing. You know, we got the money from the road safety partners. So if you've been on a speed awareness course, you've got shares in this. So I didn't think I could better this. And my new boss didn't think we could better this, but we've moved on. And so this is our educational side, and now we're going to look at our training side. Oh no, we're not. That was the launch, sorry, that was the launch, Sarah at the launch. Let's flick through these. There were kids being worked with the Youth Offending Services, we deal with them. There were the guinea pigs at the launch. Leicester High School for Girls. This is a very, very quick video. Can you hear that?
We experienced a car crash in virtual reality and it was really good. Basically, we're just driving and you're sitting in the passenger seat and then there's a car crash and it just shows the experiences and what everyone's going through and how like they'll help you, and it's so good.
It's really good for our age, especially because we haven't driven before. It's really helpful.
I can't even describe it. Like you see on TV all the car crashes and you're just like, okay, it's not gonna happen, and then you actually see it like that and you're like, okay, it's really, it could happen to me. I can't even. Maria, shut up!
I think because they use social media and their phones as one of the distractions that like led to the car crash. I think that's very good for our age, especially because everything now is through your phone and you'll be very distracted while you're driving, so it's a good reminder to not be distracted by your phone.
When you hear about it, you get taught, it sounds quite distant and you don't really get to experience it, whereas this felt really real and you'll remember it for a long time.
I think it's a much more effective way than sitting or watching a video, because you're interacting and it's you that's watching everything around you, so it's not like you're sitting there, it's hard to zone out when you're part of the experience. Yeah, it's much more effective.
The shock, I could feel like the shock. I had to make sure that I could hear my friends, otherwise I would have felt like I was there, and it was amazing.
So there are the people who tried it on the trial day when we launched it, shall I say, and it speaks for itself. You know, they loved it, and that's the response we get all the time. Now we're moving to the virtual reality world. This is really, really exciting. You know, I've got a massive buzz from the film, and the buzz I'm getting with this is brilliant. Alex at the back, we met at the Emergency Services show last year when we were showing that film, and he came over, gave me his card, he said, give me a call, I might be able to help you. We had a meeting, and it was good. They told me how I could improve what I'd already done, and he said, look at this. And I was walking around in this virtual world, and I was saying, wow, I could see the potential for a training environment for the fire service and police. So we had a few conversations with Alex, and from there we developed just a very, very basic environment. We showcased at our headquarters. We got our senior managers to have a look, our fire investigation officers, the police scenes of crime, and they were all impressed. And then we've gone away and we've designed some new environments, and it's the first time I saw it was Tuesday, the new environment, and it kind of was unbelievable. You know, all the scenes, they're like true room scale, they're photorealistic, they use photogrammetry, so you're not in a gaming world, you are in a real environment. If it was a gaming world, what would happen is the people in there would notice that, and you would not get the kind of response you want, because we're going to use it for training, for education, for re-accreditation, qualifications, so it has to be real. And by using photorealistic scenes, we got that. This scene hasn't been manufactured. The company came out and they filmed and photographed an actual fire scene. That was a Chorus building in Leicester, which burned down 18 months ago. Within the environment, the user will be able to interact with all the equipment. You'll be able to pick things up, examine things, put them back or put them somewhere else for further examination, look behind things. For fire investigation, it really is important to look at smoke patterns, burn patterns, and then be able to move stuff around to see what's caused that. So that is an absolute must, and we've got that there. That's a typical kit dump for a road traffic collision. What we'll do is put all the kit out. We can interact with any of that kit. We can pick it up. We can train firefighters on how to use kit in virtual reality. It's so much cheaper than having a fire engine and five lads on, or say firefighters, kind of turn up at a scene for training when you can do it in virtual reality. We can recreate any scenario, whether it's fire, road, chemical. I'm just talking now about fire service. With the police, it's far more, because they attend far more incidents. Firearms training. We're already looking at scenes of crime. It's sky's the limit. Hot fire training. There are things. Again, I'm not technical, but I know there are things like Alex had told me. There's trackers you can put on kit, so you can actually handle it in the film. You can get jet reaction by opening up a jet. This is the type of thing that we need to train our recruits on. But if we can do it in a virtual world in a safe environment, that is absolutely fantastic. We can do that and then put them into the real environment, so they've got a little bit of muscle memory, and they'll be able to get on with that, and they can do it safely. We can put bodies in the scene. We want it to look real. As soon as we introduce a body into a fire scene, it becomes a crime scene, and the whole kind of dynamics of that scene changes. And we'll do that in the virtual reality world, and the people who are doing that training will have to have the knowledge of how to change and adapt to that scenario, that situation. This is a film of what we're showing out there. This is really just a demo. As you can see, you can teleport around the scene. We've got a space out there, 5 meters by 5. You put the headset on, that space could be as big as this whole building, and you can move around the whole building by teleporting. You can pick things up, you can interact, you can go to different floors. You can even test for vertigo. In the film, you can walk to the edge of a door, I don't know if it will show it, and look down 2 stories. And people, you see them tiptoeing to the edge and looking over. In your mind, you know you can't fall down, but when you look at it, it's so real. You can pick up, that's just a smoke alarm. Look at the detail. For training, that is absolutely fantastic. If we're looking at electrical fires, we need to look at fuse boards, circuit boards like that, so we can either count it or discount it as a cause. It's really clever stuff. You can also make it night, so you can turn the lights out and the controller becomes a torch. How good is that? When you have a go, it's unbelievable. From my fire investigation experience, we don't go into many buildings where the electric's still on. We need to kind of put in artificial lighting. And so this training is absolutely fantastic. And this is all being done kind of in conjunction with River. They're the guys who are putting this together for us. And I thank them very much, because they're actually doing it free of charge. They're putting this together, and through that, we will put them in front of our regional fire investigation team, then national executive body, to show where the training can go. Because we have to re-accreditate by 2020. We have to have proper qualifications. This is the path I know we'll take. And the journey so far has been fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to the next few months when we kind of stand up in front of all the fire investigation officers and police forensics and say, look at this training. So thank you very much. That was a very quick whistle-stop tour of where we are and where we're going to be going to. It's kind of very exciting times.
Great. Thank you very much, Paul. I know we had you on the panel, so we've been through a lot of it already. Any burning questions? Otherwise, we'll move on to...
I've actually got one, if that's okay. Just about budgets. So obviously VR is amazing what you're doing with it, but we work on an event to do public safety, that's why I'm asking the question. When it was for fire services using drones, one of the issues were, well actually how do you scale it up on a national basis across services? So I suppose where are you at in terms of that conversation of making it UK-wide?
We're already at regional level. You know, that's happening. We'll be looking possibly September to stand in front of the region, which will be the Midlands. Nationally, the CFO, Chief Fire Officers Association, are aware of this work, and to show how keen they are, I reckon within the next 6 to 12 weeks, Leicestershire Fire and Rescue Service will be the national lead for the fire service on VR. My boss will be the national lead. I know the service is queuing up to see this. The police are really, really interested, because initially I'd imagine, I'm not sure how much this stuff costs, you know, that's not for me to decide, but I know the startup cost may be quite high, but over 5-10 years, the savings I can see would be massive. You know, because the system could actually mark a person, whether they pass or fail. We don't do pass or fail, whether they have learning outcomes or they pass and don't have to come back for another 12 months. So it takes away having to have an expertise or an expert setting it up and using it.
Thanks.
Well, I think it's quite impressive, the mixture of 360 real video and augmented, a little bit of augmented reality, and mixed, and yet the ease with, this isn't fair, but I'm saying the ease with which, or the ability to actually pull that together with the technologies that exist. I won't say, I shouldn't have used the word ease, but it's amazing that you could enlist the services of different people and get the kit together and actually do it and produce something as amazing as that. By the way, is the video, the first thing you've shown, is that available on YouTube or something?
Unfortunately, at the moment, we've not put it on social media because we want to keep hold of it because it's an educational tool. But if anybody wants the film, you know, take one of my cards, email me, and I'll just send it by retransfer. As soon as it's gone out on social media, the kids have seen it, and we lose the impact with when we go into the education.
Good point. Okay, thank you very much.